I've been wanting to do a video giving you guys an update on my semaglutide weight loss journey, and I keep like pushing it back further and further and further. I figured now would be the perfect time for me to give you guys the tea on the updates of life on my semaglutide weight loss journey, but also kind of tie it all into what I'm grateful for, because I've had a lot going on these last couple of months, and it is the week of Thanksgiving. So I'm feeling thankful, I'm feeling grateful, and I wanted to kind of just tie it all into one big video. So without further ado, I want to start with number one thing that I am grateful for, and that is my family. As you guys may or may not know, I am a single parent. We moved here to Austin, Texas, and we don't have friends or family here. Of course, being an army brat and an Air Force veteran, I'm not a stranger to moving to new places and having to make friends all over again, or being away from family. We moved here to Austin for a fresh start, but also for my business, because I knew this would be the perfect city for me to start my business in. And it's been a little bit challenging making friends outside of being in the military. I feel like it's a whole different feel trying to make friends as a civilian versus the military. But I have really been blessed. My family, meaning my son and my dog Shadow, we have really just been on the move these last, gosh, I don't even know how many years. But I am very grateful for the friends that we've made here in Austin that are becoming like our family away from family, and the growth in those relationships. It has really blossomed, and it's really been like a beacon of hope in the midst of all of the stress and a lot of the trials and tribulations that I've been dealing with recently. On top of that, I will say I'm so proud of my son. He's doing amazing in his senior year of high school. So things have been going pretty well as far as that aspect, and I'm so incredibly grateful to have all the wonderful people that I have in my life who have been so supportive of me, of my businesses, of my nursing career, just so really supportive friends. The next thing I'm grateful for is my health. Now, I have been on my semaglutide weight loss journey. I've kind of been showing some of the ups and the downs and some of the things that I've been going through. Lately, I will say I have been very grateful for my health. I am officially a little over 30 pounds down on my semaglutide weight loss journey, and I feel amazing. Physically, I have more energy and more stamina when it comes to my workouts. When I do work out, it just feels so much better. I feel so much lighter, even when it comes to just like walking, doing day-to-day basic things, cleaning up around the house, or as you guys know, I still work part-time in the hospital as a nurse. Working those long 12-hour shifts can be so physically demanding, and I feel myself having more energy where I'm not like completely depleted at the end of my shift. So that in itself is a good feeling, just to have more stamina and to not be exhausted all of the time. It's made a huge difference. I feel so much lighter even when I'm walking, when I'm running, a lot less stress on my joints and on my feet. And so I just feel amazing. I'm really excited. Of course, I still have a ways to go on my journey. I really haven't decided what I want my final goal to be. I don't think it's more so the number on the scale. I think it's more of how I feel and how I look. I think I've always been physically heavier than I actually look, so I'm not as worried about the scale. But if I had to put a number to my goal, I would say I would really want to lose another 25 to 30 pounds, and I think I would be kind of happy around that range. I think that would just be a healthier weight range for me in general. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going on my semaglutide weight loss journey. I am not completely maxed out. I have taken some breaks along the way, mostly just because of like the shortage. Like, there is a national shortage. Initially, because I was getting the compound version of Wegovy and Ozempic, the semaglutide, I wasn't really initially affected by the shortage. national back order and national shortage. But I will say that the pharmacy that I was previously using, they did have a lot of restrictions about when you can order it and how much they allowed each business to order, because they did have limitations of how much they were able to make. So at one point they cracked down, you can only place orders on Thursdays, and it was a very short window. Like if you did not order at 10 o'clock, by the time 11:30 came around, they were out and you had to wait until the following Thursday. So I will say there are sometimes I missed that window. They extended that to where it is Thursdays and Fridays, and it's pretty much the entire day, Thursdays and Fridays, because obviously they have hired more employees and they're able to make more, but there are still some limitations. And so, yeah, so it's a little bit hard sometimes. I will say that there have been some times where I missed that window to order, and I'm kind of pushing it, you know? So it's like I have skipped my own dose several times. I have still found that there are some weeks where I don't take my dose and I'm still losing weight, so that's great. So I don't really know long term what my plan is. I had someone ask me before, am I still going to take the medication once I hit my goal weight? I have not made that decision yet. That is something I'm going to sit down and talk to my prescriber about when I get a little bit closer to my goal weight. I still have a ways to go before I get there. But what I have seen is that most people, once they get close to their goal weight, they start to kind of taper down to a smaller dose that they stay on, and they create their, you know, whatever their maintenance dose is, or they may stay on at the very top dose of the semaglutide or tirzepatide, Wegovy, whichever version of GLP-1 that they're on, and they take their maintenance dose. Some people spread it out to every instead of every 7 days, they may take it every 9 days, every 12 days, every 14 days. I think the most I've seen is somebody who took it like every 17 days, something to that effect. And that's usually something that people have to work out with their provider and what works for them specifically. And that's another thing that's kind of trial or error. So once you get to that point, or you're getting close to that point, I would definitely start talking to your prescriber about that to see what's going to work best for you. And it is going to be trial and error, you guys. There may be, maybe you might, you know, maybe that spread may not work for you. Maybe you have to take it a little bit closer together. Maybe it's okay to spread it further apart. That's a decision that you have to make with your primary care provider and what works best for you. And I will be doing the same. Like I said, I still have another 25 to 30 pounds, about 25 to 30 pounds is what I think is kind of going to be my goal. So I have a little while before I actually make that official decision. So I will keep you guys posted on that. Yeah, but overall, my blood pressure, I think I've talked to you guys about my blood pressure several times in so many videos on TikTok and here, but I am so impressed by the fact that my blood pressures are just impeccable now. I did not have to add any hypertension medication to my regimen or to my medication list. I have just been taking the semaglutide. And even before I hit, once I got down to the 15 pounds lost, that's when I really saw it. But even before I hit that, when I only lost like the first 5 pounds, my blood pressure started going down. When I got to 10, my blood pressures were even lower. They got down to like the 130 range, which is good. And my very last doctor's appointment, my blood pressure was like 119/70, something like that. I was absolutely shook. My doctor was so excited for me. And so it's been a journey, but I'm very excited that my blood pressure has gone down and my blood pressures are looking great. And that does play a huge role in how I feel, because for anybody who's walked around with hypertension before, you know, like you can feel it in your body. You feel heavy, you feel bloated. You have headaches or migraines that go along with that. There are so many things that go along with being overweight that are attached to it, like the hypertension and the diabetes, that just weigh your body down and make you feel so sick and so drained physically. And I'm very glad that I'm not feeling like that anymore. I do feel so much better. I have so much more energy, and it's a good feeling. I am excited to see where I am in another 6 months from now, and to continue to track my progress. So I am very grateful for semaglutide. I'm very grateful for my health and for my weight loss journey so far. And yeah, the third thing I'm grateful for is my YouTube channel. This has been such a phenomenal journey so far, you guys. Every time I log in, I am just absolutely shook by the amazing comments and the kindness that you guys pour out for me, for my channel, the kindness that you guys pour out for one another in the comment section. You guys are just so kind to one another, so encouraging to one another. This has been a phenomenal platform, and it's really just giving me an opportunity to just be my authentic self. And so I don't know if you guys realize, but I just really appreciate each and every one of you guys on this journey. For the most part, it's been like 99.999% positivity on every single one of my videos. Every once in a while, you guys know how it is when it comes to the GLP-1 haters. There's like a couple negative comments here and there. Like, I delete, block, we move past it really quickly. But for the most part, it's been so much positivity, so much love. It's been just heaven sent for me, because I'm able to just get on here, share my experiences, share my stories, and I just absolutely love this being like an authentic outlet for me. And the fact that I found my tribe on here and just an amazing group of people who are so supportive. I really, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for supporting my channel and supporting me on my journey, whether it be my semaglutide content or my nursing content. I have just gotten an outpouring of love from you guys, and I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. Yes, thank you so much. So the next thing, number 4 thing that I am grateful for is discernment. When I say that life has been lifing just a little bit lately, it's really been lifing, but I will say that I've definitely grown through a lot of the situations that I've gone through recently. So I want to start with discernment. I am very grateful that I have definitely matured, and I'm really able to take a step back and look at situations and look at people a little bit different and handle situations a little bit different. More recently, I don't know if I really want to get into all the details of the situation, but more recently have been dealing with the situation with someone who was a friend. And I will say that I've learned a lot in this situation about myself, and I've grown a lot through the situation. And discernment is just the key word that I can think of when it comes to my most recent growth and being able to look at situations. I'm really learning how to take a step back from situations and to look at the entire situation and to look at people's behavior and patterns and start to piece things together with a lot more maturity and discernment. I'm able to take a step back and analyze situations versus being overly emotional about things and allowing my emotions to kind of run things. And it's a good feeling. Like, it's something that comes with maturity as you get older, but I think it's also something that's really come with prayer, and I've really just asked God for a lot more clarity lately. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when you're going through like a glow up situation where you're growing, doesn't matter what it is, you're losing weight, you got a new job, you have a new business, whatever it is, there's always going to be like this force of negativity that kind of comes towards you, whether it be haters or naysayers or people that you thought were your friends and family that cared about you, who really don't have your best interest in mind. So I think there's a level of discernment that has to come from that, where you have to be able to take a step back, look at the situation from a different view, and make more like wiser decisions when it comes to how you handle those people and those situations. Because 20-year-old Nikita probably would have popped off and got super duper emotional and, you know, like acted out in a certain type of way. But I have like this new level of maturity and growth where I am just taking my time with decisions. I'm taking my time with how I handle people, and I'll talk a little bit more about what's really helped me mentally to kind of get through a lot of these tough situations that I've been through recently in the very next thing that I'm grateful for. but I am just very proud of myself for the growth, but just very grateful for having a new perspective on situations and a new perspective on life, because I think it's important as in every kind of level of my life, as a nurse, obviously, as a mom, but as a business owner also, you have to be able to make some smarter decisions. You can't just fly off the handle every time. It doesn't matter how disrespectful somebody is to you or what people are saying about you, which is kind of what happened in this particular situation. You can't just fly off the handle. You can't just always like run into the situation and say how you feel flat out. And so I'm very proud of myself for the way that I handled the situation, even though a lot of it was not fair to me. I chose not to take a victim stance in this situation, but I chose to look at the situation and say, okay, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? I can't always control situations that are going to happen to me, but I can control myself, and I can control how I handle it. So really just taking a step back and just being the more mature person in the situation and handling it the best way for me, for my brand, for my reputation, for my business, all of those things, no matter what the other person or people involved do. So I know that's a lot, that was a mouthful, but that's something that I'm very, very grateful for, is just having a different perspective on things, and a new level of understanding and discernment, and starting to spot things out from afar and making better choices for myself and for my name and for my brand. All right, so we're on to the last one, number 5. Along with that growth and discernment that I talked about in the last one, I would say the more mental clarity and mental growth. So I've been doing a lot of journaling and a lot of reflecting lately. Like I said in the last point, I don't want to take a victim stance. I think that, of course, there's power in speaking your truth and your situation, but I feel like there's even more power in speaking it from a growth standpoint and from a learning standpoint. So that being said, I've really looked at a lot of situations, not like, okay, that person did this to me and I'm a victim, but why did that person feel comfortable talking to me like that? Why does that person feel comfortable treating me this way? What boundaries and standards have I set for myself? Where can I grow and develop myself in the situation? What can I do better next time? Like I said before, you can't always control what happens to you, but the best thing you can control is how you mentally and physically handle situations. So I'm very grateful for some of the books that I've been reading lately, and I've been doing a lot of journaling, like a lot of journaling, just kind of digging deep into why I handle situations certain ways and how I can handle situations better. And I will say that it's brought a lot of mental clarity, like I said before, discernment, but a lot of mental clarity about some of my own toxic traits, because we all have toxic traits, and a lot of things that I can do better for myself going forward. So number 1 was I read the book by Amanda Frances, Rich AF. If you haven't read this book, you guys, it is a phenomenal book. I shouldn't say read. I'm really, really busy, as you guys know, so most of the time I actually listen to my books on Audible. And so I listened to the book on Audible, and unfortunately with listening to the book, I wasn't able to do the actual journal prompts. At the end of each chapter, there are journal prompts that go along with the chapter, so you can reflect on that chapter and figure out some things that you could work on. So I was not able to do the journal prompts with the fact that I was listening to it. I would do them out loud with the book, but I knew for sure that I wanted to get the journal. I got the journal, I've been working on that journal, and every single night I take the time to write in one of my 3 journals that I've been kind of going through simultaneously. And I just do that for at least 30 to 40 minutes every single night, and the growth is there. Like, I'm definitely growing mentally, and I can see the growth in myself. So that is one book I'm very glad that I read. It's definitely helping me to change my mindset and my mindset around money and my mentality about growth, financial growth, and development. So that was my number 1 journal that I've been working on. It's also helped to kind of break through some of the like issues that I've had with money, why I have those issues with money, why I have this mentality behind money, which is very big for me because as a single mom, I think that there are so many stigmas around being a single mom, about having to struggle when you're a single mom and things like that, and feeling like this guilt almost. And I know that I am maturing and blossoming in business, and I don't want to have those stigmas and those mindsets that limit me. So if you have any of those type of financial stigmas, mindsets, or things that you grew up with that you feel like are kind of holding you back and you're ready to move to the next level financially, this book is for you. I will link them down below for you guys. The book itself on Audible, as well as the workbook, or the physical book if you like to read the physical book. I'll link that down below for you as well. The second book you guys may have seen all over TikTok. It's been super popular lately, of shadow work. Oh, one sec. Amber alert. Okay. So shadow work has been very popular. I actually started doing shadow work a little while before it got popular on TikTok. One of my favorite YouTubers talks a lot about shadow work, and she talks a lot about her journey of growth and maturity and spiritual growth as well. And when she mentioned it the first time, it sparked my interest, and I started looking up things on Pinterest. There's a lot of different activities on Pinterest of shadow work, journal prompts. And shadow work is very similar to what we just talked about, kind of looking at your upbringing, looking at your past, and figuring out what things are kind of holding you back from where you want to be. And so I've been really digging so deep, you guys, on what makes me who I am and how I can develop to become the next level, the next best version of myself. So I've been working on my shadow work journal as well, and that has been life-changing for me, as well as my atomic habits. I attempted to do a 27-day atomic habit challenge here on YouTube and on TikTok, but I really didn't get like a lot of traction. I don't really think a lot of you guys were really interested in doing that type of challenge. I didn't really get very good feedback from that, so I kind of stopped. But like I said, in that challenge, this is now my second time reading Atomic Habits. The first time I read it, I was reading it with the mindset of a brand new entrepreneur. I read it when I was building my very first business, and everything in the book I was focusing on that mindset, the entrepreneur mindset of building a business. How do I create better entrepreneurial based habits? Well, now I'm reading the book from a different lens of weight loss and health and wellness, trying to build better habits around that. So it's been a great book. It too has its own workbook. And so I'm all about a good audiobook and a good workbook, you guys. I'm always on the go. So if I can listen to something and then take 30 minutes at the end of the day to answer questions to help me self-reflect on what I read, that's just my vibe. And it just so happens that I have really found some good books that have just that. So I listened to the audiobook again, and I've been working on the workbook itself. So I will be sure to link those down below for you as well. Like I said, Atomic Habits is an amazing book because it helps you to make small changes that add up to really big lifestyle changes for yourself. So whether you're on your Semaglutide, Wegovy, Ozempic, Zepbound, weight loss journey, whatever you're doing in your life, a new business, you're a new mom or dad, a new job, this book is for you. It's going to help you to create small changes that make big impact in your life. And I really like that, because a lot of people, when we're trying to make changes and we think we have to change everything at once, we have to make 55 million changes in order to become a better person, and then we're not really consistent with it because we make too many changes at once, and it's very overwhelming mentally and physically. So I love the concept of tiny bite-sized changes that, you know, add up to eating the elephant, right? So like I said, I will link all those down below for you guys. That's kind of what I'm going through. That is my mental health, mental glow up that I'm going through right now. A lot of journaling, a lot of self-reflecting, and I'm very grateful for the books that I have found. I'll also link some of the other books down below that I found. I've been reading a lot of books about business, about marketing, about growth and development, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, like every facet of my life. I'm working on growth and development and becoming the next version of myself. I'm not the type of person who waits till the new year to start all of these new things. I truly believe that every day we can become a better person, and that's what I'm working on every single day. And I'm grateful for my growth so far. I'm grateful for the community that I'm building around me. Every single person I have around me right now has been just so positive. I'm also just taking a step back and realizing that discernment once again. As soon as I recognize that someone is not for me and they are not positive, I immediately cut them off, cut that relationship off. And I'm very proud of myself for that, because the previous people pleaser version of me was not about that. It was all about what I can do to fix a relationship, even if that person wasn't trying to fix it with me. So growth. Yeah, so like I said before, I'm grateful for each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of my journey. And comment down below some of the things that you're grateful for. I would love to also hear updates on your weight loss journey. Let me know how you guys are doing. As I always say, keep me posted on your success. I'm rooting for you every step of the way. So leave all the good juju down below, all the comments, all the updates. I want to hear every juicy detail, and I will see you guys in the next video. Happy Thanksgiving.